You suggested this change in Magi pertains to tax credits that are eligible to the middle class under the Affordable Care Act. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Are you also going to make that same suggestion that we change the adjusted gross income for eligibility for the purposes of IRA contributions?
Sir, we're talking about social benefit programs.
I'm asking you, though, do you want, we're talking about tax credits for health care. You don't want to make certain individuals eligible for those tax credits. Isn't that correct? Your attempt here is to not make certain people who, under the Affordable Care Act today, would be eligible for certain tax credits uneligible. Is that correct?
As the bill proposes, this would put into alignment with other federal assistance programs. And that's the intent of the bill.
Either yes or no, ma'am. If you can answer in your own way, but it's a simple question. Would your bill, if passed today, deny people who, under the Affordable Care Act today, they can receive tax credits? Would they be denied those tax credits if your bill were to pass?
I have answered your question.
Well, let me ask you this, if you continue to yield with me under my time. Would you then suggest that we now do that for other areas of the code, not pertaining to the lower class or the poor in this country? I'm not suggesting we do that. I'm talking specifically of the middle class. Should we extend that logic, or maybe enhance your bill to include IRA contributions, student loan interest, and adoption tax credits, which are focused on the middle class? Again, we're not talking about the poor. You know, they're covered. We're talking about individuals who are struggling to survive right now in this economy, struggling to put food on the table, pay for student loans or their children's student loans, put away money for retirement, and maybe have the opportunity for the first time in their lives to afford health insurance. And under your bill, you would take those credits away. Are you suggesting that we take them away? Because it's a slippery slope. You start here. Let's just look at the overall tax code. We'll change major portions then. What about the IRA contributions that person would be making? What about the student loan interest, the adoption tax credits? Should we also limit their ability to take advantage of those provisions of the law? The silence is deafening. I take back. I will retake my time, Mr. Speaker. The silence is deafening because the reality is, Mr. Speaker, this is a slippery slope. You take away opportunities for the middle class to afford health insurance under the Affordable Care Act by whittling away at it. It's the middle class who are hurt here. We're not talking about the poor. We're not talking about the least amongst us. We're talking about the middle class that, under the Affordable Care Act, would have the opportunity to afford insurance for the first time. And this legislation, I can't even say as well-intentioned as it may be. It is not well-intentioned. There is nothing about this bill that is well-intentioned. It is simply to take away a provision that this Congress and our President made available for the first time in people's lives. They want to take it away from the middle class. Let's put everything else aside. That's what we're doing today. And I'm suggesting that maybe this is just the first step, that maybe the next step will be limiting the ability of individuals to put away money for retirement. Limiting the availability of students or their parents to pay for a college education. And lastly, and probably most egregious, the adoption tax credits, taking them away. I mean, that's where this is going. I thank my colleague from Michigan once again for yielding me the time, and I reserve the balance of our time.
Time is reserved. Generally from